So now we're going to be covering handshake number 2, which is the hammer lock. Just like handshake number 1 is going to be starting from the handshake position. So we'll begin with it in this handshake position. I'm going to take my left hand, and I'm going to take the webbing of my hand and put it on the back of his hand on the metatarsal side of his hand. My thumb is going to be on top, matching his thumb side. My fingers are going to be on the bottom, and they're going to be forming a C grip around the wrist. And in this position right here, I'm going to keep this hand with a nice tight grip. I'm going to take a big step forward as I rotate his pinky side out, and I'm pushing my elbow in. This is going to collapse his arm structure right here, so that way I can actually step through. Now if I don't do this, he's just going to stop me. I'll never be able to get there. Now I'm going to pull up and rotate as I push through. And what this allows me to do is to be able to get underneath this arm. From here, I'm going to take a nice tight step. I'm going to do a triangle step, which is just a straight step back here. I'm going to bring his hand to the small of his back. Now the other hand, the original gripping hand for the handshake, which is the matching side of the elbow, is going to come around and grab on the tricep. Not at the elbow, but the tricep, so that way I can do a rolling wrench on the tricep. As I do this, I'm stepping into his foot, putting my head into his scapula here, and I'm avoiding this elbow right here. If I stay here, he's just going to elbow me in the head. And this is one of the main fallacies for Hapkido. A lot of times people just stand here, and the other person is standing there, not really elbowing, but they can get elbowed in the head. So you want to make sure you put your head into the back right here. And as I'm doing this, I'm rotating that tricep. I'm collapsing his wrist with his palm into his forearm. And this is going to create a wrist lock. Okay. From this side, it'll look like this. Same position. So I have that webbing on the back of the hand here. Finger positions here, thumb positions here. So I have that C grip. I'm going to keep a nice tight grip as I rotate up and stepping forward. 1, 2. Remember that triangle step here. Keep yourself low. 3. Other hand is rotating around on that tricep as my head fits, and you can see the twist of my body as I turn into him right here. Now right here I'm going to be using my rhomboids, my trapezius, and my latissimus dorsi all at once to pull backwards as I also shrug in, and this is going to collapse that wrist. And at speed it's going to look like this, but before we do it, understand that we are not going to be doing a throw or a takedown on this one. We'll be covering that in a later set. Because of the nature of beginners and the ballistics of this lock, it can be dangerous for beginners. So we'll be covering this in first wrist set. As people progress, they can do it a little bit safer and have a much more controlled manner in the throw. So number 2 is right there. And that is handshake number 2, or the hammer lock. Thank you.